Our company's vision is to add a little bit of magic to the skin. And the skin is so important, right? It's the first thing that everybody sees. We want to make the world more magical by making the skin more magical. The way we do that is with technology. So we make products that go in the skin, not on the skin. We make these small particles that are implantable. They're mostly made of a biocompatible polymer, but about 10% or so are these active ingredients that give them their magical powers. What magical powers, you ask? Our first product is a magic tattoo ink that changes color. It changes color in UV light, so it's normally colorless, but when you expose it to an ultraviolet flashlight, the color changes. And other than that, it looks pretty much like a normal tattoo ink and works like a normal tattoo ink. And this color change, we can control how long it lasts. So this particular ink will last for hours or even days if you keep the tattoo ink in the right lighting. But we can force the tattoo ink to change back to colorless with a red light. And so this process is a little bit slow. It takes 20 or 30 seconds or so. And at the demo table, you'll be able to try it out for yourself during the social hour. But I hope you can see that the top of that ink cup is more white now. We also have tattoo inks that change back very quickly. So this next one has been tested in my skin. I have a couple of sample spots of this tattoo ink in my skin that you can't see right now because it's colorless. But when I shine UV light on my skin, these little blue dots are going to appear. And again, if we wait about 20 seconds or so, this tattoo ink will automatically fade away. And you can just reactivate it and let it fade over and over again. So you can achieve different visual effects with these different deactivation times. Okay, so I know what you're thinking, is it safe? And the answer is yes. We've tested this in my skin, many of these products in my skin, many times over the past couple of years. Dermatologists have checked me out. Everybody says I'm okay. This works exactly like a normal tattoo ink. So we believe it's safe. And in fact, we're PhD level scientists. We've been researching this for 4 years. We know exactly the materials we're putting in these tattoo inks. Unlike normal tattoo inks, most tattoo inks, how many of you have a tattoo? Do you know what your ink is made of? Probably not, right? Most tattoo pigments are borrowed from like print toner and car paint and stuff like that. They're not designed to go in the skin, right? Our inks are. And my co-founder, Jesse Butterfield, is back there. He does a lot of this work. Go, Jesse. Okay. So our market here is obviously the tattoo market. It's over $1 billion market in the US, but the tattoo ink market is a small fraction of that. It's only about $17 million, pretty small market. But it affects almost half of US adults. And Instagram has really changed this industry. Almost all tattoo artists are recruiting clients on Instagram now, which has really driven them to become increasingly kind of competitive and innovative. And so the way tattoo artists attract customers now is to develop lots of different styles, niches. So we help artists solve this problem of differentiating themselves on social media by allowing them to create this kind of mind-blowing content, these mind-blowing tattoos that people have never seen before. So let's take a look at a couple of use cases. One would be like animated body art. So you could have this Cheshire cat, for example, that's visible when you're outside, and when you go inside, the body disappears, right? Or you could actually have reprogrammable body art. So, I think it's my clicker. The tattooing can be colorless, but if you use a UV light, a UV projector, you can project a specific image in it. So one of my heroes is this guy, Richard Feynman. This would be the image that I would project in my skin, but maybe if I got sick of the tattoo, I could just erase it with red light and reprogram it with something else, like Albert Einstein. Okay? Or you could actually use a laser to kind of handwrite on your tattoo, so you could draw sort of doodles on the tattoo, whatever you want, and it's rewritable, it's erasable. So that's the idea. You might want to know who our customer is, and we think the right kind of customer for us is the kind of high-end tattoo artist. This is Bang Bang. He's a celebrity tattoo artist that tattoos folks like Rihanna and LeBron James and Kara here. He's super excited about this ink. He says it's the coolest ink he's ever seen. He thinks every tattoo artist is going to need it. And so people like Bang Bang are our beachhead market because they charge insanely high prices for tattoo inks so they can afford to pay they charge insanely high prices for their tattoos so they can afford to pay very high prices for their tattoo ink. Another really important reason is that the FDA does not regulate tattoo inks. It's a cosmetic product to the FDA, and so we can just sell tattoo inks without having any sort of regulatory barriers. But also importantly, Bang Bang really wants to partner with us, and he has 2.5 million followers. So he's going to help us associate this ink with the best body art in the world. And he's actually flown out from New York City to see us twice. We have a letter of intent from him. He's going to become a very important part of our company. Our competition, you might have heard of like blacklight ink, the kind of ink that glows in the dark. This is not like that, right? This is ink that changes color. You can set it and reprogram it. It's also not like regular tattoo ink. So this is a totally new category of tattoo ink, and we have a provisional patent to protect our IP. Talking numbers, we've raised about $132K for research and development. Between this accelerator and another accelerator we're participating in, we expect another $35K. We're going to sell this ink for about $100 a package, a single-use package, which is a 50x margin for us. And we want to reach about 200 artists next year. We're going to start selling this ink next year. If each of those artists buys on average 25 packages, that's $500,000. That's a really modest goal. It's less than 1% of tattoo artists doing only 10 to 20 tattoos a year, which is like less than 5% of the tattoos that a normal tattoo artist would do. And it amounts to about 5 liters of ink. So imagine like 5 of those 1 liter bottles. It's not that much ink, right? We can make that in our lab, and we calculate that it would cost us $30,000 to do that. So we already have enough money to kind of generate this first $500,000 of revenue. And we want to take that $500,000 of revenue and grow in the tattoo ink market, but we also want to use it to fund our transition to the medical aesthetics market, which is a much bigger market. And our opportunity in that market is sun protection. So UV light is responsible for 90% of skin aging, 90% of skin cancer. This guy's face is only wrinkly on one side because he was a truck driver. That was the side of his face facing the window. So you can really see how damaging UV light is. Less than 30% of people wear sunscreen, or wear it correctly anyway, which is why skin cancer is still a growing problem in the US. 1 in 5 people will get skin cancer by the age of 70. And so we have a product that solves this problem because it's like a permanent sunscreen. So it's a one-time procedure that you go through that permanently protects your skin. You don't have to apply it over and over again. It's never sticky or oily. It's completely invisible, but it absorbs a lot of UV light. So the way it works is to capture about 80% of the UV light that enters the skin and just dissipate that energy. So it's like a sort of low-level sunscreen, like SPF 5, but you get it once and you never have to think about it again. So our customer here are people like Jess Oslo. She's a medical esthetician. She says there's a huge market for products like this. People already get procedures that are more painful on their face that don't last as long, and it's a $12 billion market. So if we want to grow to like $1 billion company, this is the route we're going to take. We're going to open up medical spas. We're going to do these UV protective facial procedures. And we think in about 12 years we can grow to $1 billion company if we're successful. But we can't even start until about 6 years from now because that's how long the FDA approval process takes, which is why we're starting in the body art market. Again, the closest competition we have is regular sunscreens. This is a completely new category of sun protectant, but it's also protected by a provisional patent. Okay, so we have a roadmap, we have a plan. We're going to try to scale up our production late next year and start selling early next year. So this is our ask. If you want to help us, we just launched our website. We just launched our Instagram. We have like 4 followers. Pull out your phones, follow us, join us. If you know any tattoo artists or people in the tattoo industry, we would absolutely love to talk to them. Please connect us. And of course, tell your friends. Come visit us after the show. We've got a tattoo machine set up if you want to try using a tattoo machine, if you want to play with our inks. Those are available. I want to give a big thank you to Karen and Rohan for setting up this event and for all of the help and mentoring. You guys have been super great. And thanks to all the other teams for all of your energy. thanks all of you for coming and showing your support.